A&M student, you get premium Grammarly. Do you know have you ever done that?
I saw
Okay.
the commercial.
You saw the commercial? Okay, so yeah, as an A&M student, you get premium Grammarly, so you have to sign up with your Bulldogs email. Oh, those don't ID. And then you use this access code so that you can get it for free. Okay. And so after Grammarly, we have interlibrary loan. Have you ever heard of interlibrary loan? So that is when you can actually go in between. So if our library doesn't have something as, I don't want to say in stock, but like on in their course reserves, then you can the article from another library, and that takes 3 to 5 days. So if you're doing research, then you want to make sure that you plan that out so you can have it available early. And so for undergrad students, that can be from 30 to 60 days. If you're a grad student, that could be from 60 days. And then as a faculty, it could be like 6 months. So after that, another thing that I want to show y'all is the State Black Archives. So we have a Black Archive Museum on top of the hill. It's by the Virginia McCormick Building. And so it's a research center and a museum. And so it has different exhibits throughout the year. And so currently there's the 9th and 10th United States Cavalry Regiment. It's up there that you can go actually look at and go take a tour of it. And then the Velma Walker art collection as well. Those are all up there. Wait, where did it go? Okay. Okay, and now let's look at the online databases. Krishan's just going to tell y'all something about that, and then I can go into more detail.
Okay, so I know you said that you've never used or heard of the online database. What about you? Neither. Okay, so think of like the online database as a crate. A crate that contains like a lot of different information. There are like sources like newspaper articles, regular journal articles, books, everything just compiled into one. And you're basically just making sure like when you're clicking on the online database, when you're clicking on, you just want to look and make sure, like, okay, is this a newspaper, is this a book, or is this a journal article? Like basically making sure that, yeah. So basically just being sure what you're actually looking at, so you'll know it'll show you what you need to use when you actually start writing. So the one I use a lot is the Literary Resource Center or the Literature Resource Center. Okay, here we go. So for the online database, you have to have a login actually, and it's usually your A number and the last 4 digits of your phone number. And if it's not registered, you actually have to contact the library and they'll register it for you, which is very easy. You just go up to their office and they'll do that for you. I actually kind of got lucky because my login information is kind of different. Like it's my A number, but it's a login that I use to actually get into the computers in the library. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, it happened. So you see, this is the Literary Reference Center, and this has books, peer-reviewed journals, and a lot of other things. So does anyone want to give me a topic to search? Is in the topic. Okay, so we're gonna go foster care. So there are 181 different sources. So the thing is their sources from all like years. They can date back as far as the 1920s. Yeah. So usually, like with most professors, they want you to do like find sources within a certain time frame. Like I know one of my professors, she doesn't like articles that are 10 years old. So you can go back and actually So you can change the date, so I'm just gonna do, of course, 2015.
Yeah, update.
So still 72, so it's still a lot of different, choices on here. Okay, yeah, so there are 72 different results on here, like rhetoric and the rise of foster care. And this one it has check for full text, so and the children money can buy stories from the front lines of foster care and adoption. And here you can do like the PDF full text. That's another thing, like it's you have a PDF text and then you have like the HTML. So the PDF text is basically like a photocopy of what the actual article is. It has all the pictures and graphs and everything that you need. And you usually have to have like certain software in order to view the PDF file. I just use the HTML file because it just has all the words, but still the same type of information.
You got it? Scratching? Okay. So you guys have it on? Okay. So another cool like resource that they have is that they have a database for documentaries. So one of them is Canopy. And so you can use this one, you can look at documentaries about pretty much anything. I think if it pops up first. Yeah, sociology documentaries, all these years, these are all like dramatized. They don't have to be education based on this database for Canopy. And yeah, there's like a whole bunch. You have Dr. Martin Luther King, Black America. So if you were doing like a Black History Month and you wanted to look at a project and you wanted to look at some Black history documentaries, you could look at these on your own time. It doesn't even have to be for a subject for a class or anything. And we could probably still look up foster care too and find something on here as well.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so there is a couple documentaries over foster care. I wonder how many there is. And there's quite a bit. There's like 533 pages for documentaries for that. And there's another database for documentaries. And this is more education based. It is the Films on Demand. And they're educational streaming sources. Educational streaming sources. So yeah, so the first thing that they have is Black History Month, but you can always search their series and their popular titles as well. Then there's another database. There's a lot of databases. The one that I'm going to make known is the History Makers as well. So for the History Maker database, you're going to be looking at national archives from individuals that have made history so far. And so they have history makers born this day. You can look at their experiences and how they've gone through different interviews and how they got to where they are today. So if somebody was in foster care that y'all knew, then y'all could search them and see if they were in this archive. And then last database is the Alabama Virtual Library. So if you don't have your login and you are in the state of Alabama, you can go on here, click college and universities, and then you'll see some of their databases as well. So they have the academic search premier just like we do, but they don't have as much like in-depth for engineering or for physical science or for psychology as much as our library databases do, but they do have some things. And so far, do you have any questions about like the library databases? Any subjects y'all like to look at? Oh, if you have a specific subject, let me say that you can just search on the subject and it'll tell you all the databases for those subjects.
So I was just gonna tell y'all like about different one other thing about the library, like you need more additional information, or
you came to the workshop and you still forgot and it's something that you need help with, you can always schedule like a session with one of the librarians, and then you can do like an individual session or you can do a group session. So you just schedule an individual class or a small group session, and you can go to schedule appointment, and you can pick whichever librarian you want to, whichever librarian you want to work with, and then they'll give you time, and you pick the date, and okay, so now that y'all know how to find sources, now what?
So the first thing you want to ask yourself when doing like a research paper or looking for different sources is,
Why do you need these sources? Why do y'all think we need sources?
Give people credit.
Okay, to give people credit.
So it won't be plagiarism.
Right, because plagiarism is a serious offense. Yeah. And those are the answers. So the thing we use is called the Beam method. So you ask yourself, does your source provide you with background information about this subject? So that's a very important thing. Like, you just don't want to use a source and it has nothing to do with your topic, the topic of your paper. So always ask yourself, okay, so does this source have anything to do with what I'm talking about in my paper, or what I want my audience to know when they read my paper? And does it provide you with evidence that something is true or not true about the subject? That's important as well. You always need evidence. Like, they can't just say something you can't back it up. And does this source provide a perspective on this subject, an argument for or against something, or does this source propose a theory or method for understanding the subject? So these are all important things that you need to consider when looking for sources. Like, you can't just get a source and then drop it in and then go on to something else. Always make sure you elaborate or expand on that subject to let them know, okay, this is the reason that I use this quote. So this will determine where and how you use each source in your paper.
okay. So there are 3 ways to use a source. So the first one we're looking at is quoting. So she was talking about how you don't just drop something in your paper, that you introduce it before you quote, and that you also explain it afterwards. And so that's the word, when you quote, that's word for word. You don't change anything, and you always put quotation marks around it, unless it's like a long quote, then it would be a block quote. And then, so you usually cite it by the author's last name and year for APA, and the author's name and page number for MLA. Cool. So a summary is a short restatement of someone else's main point in your own words. You don't use quotation marks on like the quote. You just cite it. So you use an intake citation. You can use it according to the author, or you can use it in a parenthetical citation where it's at the end of the sentence. And then paraphrasing. So it's also restating. You're using paraphrasing to simplify what the original author said. So if there was this long definition, or you could understand it yourself, but you want to make it simpler for the reader to read, then that's when you use paraphrasing. And it also makes your research simpler so that other people who may not be in your discipline can understand it. And then intake citation. Because anything that you use from another person, you're going to use intake citation. Now we're going to practice. And so we're going to look at the main point of it. What questions they might be trying to answer.
I have a really good feeling that y'all have great responses.
HBCUs are actively engaging students in societal events past and present by using a teaching method called CRT, which is called, it means culturally responsive and relevant teaching. By adding to and maintaining the students' knowledge about cultural relevant information, HBCUs are attributed to better effectiveness.
Anyone else? She broke the ice and went first.
I said basically this paragraph is about HBCUs using CRT to teach the curriculum, putting Asian Black culture into today's society, experiences, and interests, so that it becomes more interesting while informing culture.
Now we're gonna practice paraphrasing, so we're just gonna look at one sentence, this last sentence. So try to put it in your own words, basically, and you can shorten it if you need to, and just paraphrase that sentence.
Wait a minute, so paraphrasing basically is like rewording somebody else's stuff, right?
Yeah, so one tip that they have, like when you're paraphrasing, is to read it and then put it away and then write what it means to you, just like summarize it to yourself, basically.
Okay, I said, but then I basically said the same thing. But I use the same words, but I just put it in.
So yes, it's good.
Yeah, so I said, Southern Education Foundations published a report in 2017 scouting for students to strive for a greater education as a whole to ensure culturally intact curriculum beyond racial minority institutions.
It's like it's almost there. You just have to probably change up a few more words to make sure that you're actually like paraphrasing it and not just kind of quoting what they already said. And so the last thing is quoting. So y'all can use one sentence out of this, quote it like exactly as it is, but before quoting, you should introduce it, quote, and then explain what the quote means, basically. So, y'all can just pick a sentence and then. Oh, also, something about quoting is that you use it when you have no other way to say a sentence. So if you were telling me what CRT means and you feel like you couldn't put that in your own words, then you would choose to quote it. But if you can say it in your own words, then it's always like, you can always paraphrase or summarize before quoting because you want to show that you have knowledge of the research.
Oh, and another thing, like about quoting, when you do choose to do it, you always want, if it's your first time using a quote, you always want to introduce like the article and the author. Like John Doe stated in his article, HBCUs, that then there's your quote. But if it's your second or third time using it and you don't include the author's name in the sentence, the author's name is not in the beginning of the sentence. You need to put the author's name at the end. This is with MLA. You need to put the author's name at the end with a page number, if you have a page number.
Or it was APA with the year. They did it with a 2017 report. And then they tell us who it's published by.
I see how y'all are looking at it, but y'all can basically just choose like any sentence out of this paragraph if I want and just quote it. And remember, like, to always expand on the sentence, like tell why this sentence is important or why you chose to use it in this particular. So does anyone want to share? This is the last share part, y'all.
One thing I do want to mention though with quoting is that like if it's a long, like if you were going to do like a block quote or anything, if it's a long quoted passage, if you wanted to omit something, then you use an ellipses, and that's like the 3 dots. So it's like dot, 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 and then you would just go on to quoting. And then if there was a portion of it inside of it, so if it wasn't at the beginning or the end of the quote, then you use brackets to indicate that you were taking something out of a quote.
Anyone want to share now?
CRT can be difficult to explain, but basically is when you have an HBCU, for example, an English professor invites students to write about the Black Lives Matter movement. I use at HBCUs, including English professor inviting students to write about Black Lives Matter.
And you quoted it?
Mm-hmm. I used it in this quote.
And so in that case, like, because you didn't use the whole thing, you use the ellipses, so like 3 dots, yeah, before. Always remember to introduce and explain, because like if you just gave me that in your paper, then I might not know what you're talking about if I hadn't been reading up on CRT.
So, what is it?
And ellipses.
So we use those, even if we're not using the whole sentence. So what I thought we use those for, I thought we would use them when like we take the well, even if it's like just some of the quote, I thought we used it when we take same words with the quote out in the middle. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So in some cases, if like it's a long quote, you use the bracket instead of the ellipses. And so it's like, I wish I could show you. I can show you after the workshop, but it's just the two brackets and it shows that you omitted something. And I think you actually write in omit when you type in omit.
See, I thought the brackets were when you change the word.
That
I changed it divided to watch. We use it then too. Yeah.
there's two different ways.
But I get it now.
Anyone have any questions?
I did want to mention something about looking at the online databases. Is that like even though they were searching just foster care, they can be looking at they can search foster care and adolescents or foster care and how it affects adults. So you can use multiple searches to find. You can find more sources when you're doing more, making it more specific. So. But yeah, so you see that it says foster care system in locked out and effects on the children. So it would show more than just foster care. It would show effects on children, and it would probably make it more specific, and it wouldn't include things about adults, or it wouldn't include anything about adult elders or anything like that. And then, so if y'all have no more questions about research, we do have, you'll be able to find this workshop on our website under tutorials. And so we have all our past workshops, how to edit yourself using passive voice and active voice. We have all of those workshops. So if you ever miss one, you can always look on here. Our next workshop is how to do a literary analysis, and that's next Tuesday at 12:30 as well. And yeah, so we'll just be going through the steps of how to do a literary analysis, how an analysis works versus a summary. And then something that's also cool is that we have a news page and we have scholarships up. So they're writing scholarships and we do them monthly. And so you can get $1,000 by submitting an essay about what you've done that exemplifies their core values. There's also an aspiring author scholarship. So if you're an English major, it's very specific. You have to be a current college sophomore, junior, and you have to be female and must be African descent and have a 2.85 GPA. Then we also we do book of the month. So if y'all ever want to submit one, or if you ever want to find something that you can read up on, so far we've done The American Marriage, and we've also done The Alchemist. It's by Nicholas Flamel. Wait, no, it's about him, and it's by Michael Scott. Yeah, and those are just some of the things we have to offer.
Well, we want to thank you guys for coming out to our workshop today. Like she said, don't forget next week that we have a workshop on how to do literary analysis. And we have other workshops like each month that are different. We have multiple workshops. So make sure y'all tune in. And if y'all want to make appointments, we take walk-ins as well. If you need help on any type of writing, you just come in. And there's always someone here to help. Thank you guys for coming again.